Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Shrednoslak, and I'm a film critic at FilmBook. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2020 biopic drama Mank. Mank was directed by David Fincher, written by his late father Jack Fincher, and stars Gary Oldman, Amanda Seyfried, and Lily Collins. Gary Oldman plays Herman Mankiewicz, who is the acclaimed writer of Citizen Kane. This film follows his journey throughout finishing the screenplay while dealing with his own personal issues. It also flashes back and forth throughout time and how Mank's experiences in Hollywood inspired the script. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way now. Yes, I am a David Fincher fanboy, and I'm not going to apologize for that. With the exception of Alien 3, there really isn't a movie in his filmography that I've really disliked. He's probably my favorite director of all time, and his body of work has a huge influence on my style of filmmaking. So you could probably tell that when I got the news that David Fincher was going to be directing a movie about the making of Citizen Kane, that I was going to be pretty excited about it. And I was. The last movie he made was Gone Girl, and that was back in 2014. So I was definitely very, very anxious to get a new Fincher movie. For those who don't know, Citizen Kane was a movie that was released back in 1941 and is regarded as one of the greatest movies of all time, if not the greatest movie of all time. The reasoning for this is because it was a marvel during its time of release. No other film had really accomplished what it did technically or narratively. A lot of normal people, or normies as I like to call them, would probably watch a movie like Citizen Kane and think to themselves, I don't really get what the big deal is. It takes a certain appreciation to understand the significance of that movie. And I would say the same is true for Mank. At first glance, I didn't love this movie. I think that mostly has to do with the fact that I didn't grasp everything during the first watch. There's a lot to unpack with its story. As I mentioned before, this movie is about Mank's experiences in Hollywood during this particular time era and how it influenced the Citizen Kane script. I have to admit, it's not something that's particularly exciting or emotionally investing unless you're some sort of history buff. I do have an appreciation for this kind of movie, but I don't necessarily look at it with the same set of eyes as I do other films. This movie definitely nailed all the technical aspects, just as every other David Fincher movie. The performances are top-notch, the cinematography, the sound, and all of the art design are definitely stellar, and the score is incredible. This movie definitely has all the pieces of what I would consider a great movie. However, this is definitely a very niche movie. It wasn't made for a large audience. This movie was made for a smaller audience who can appreciate the craft and the history behind this story. I could tell this is definitely a passion project for Fincher. Apparently he's been trying to get this movie made since the mid-90s. His dad wrote the script in the early 1990s, but for some reason the project just never came to fruition. I'm really happy that he was able to make this movie. It's certainly something different as far as his other films go. Yes, the emotional investment on the first watch is definitely lacking. However, I feel like I can rebuttal that by saying I definitely know that I can get down with this movie the more times that I watch it. I didn't love Girl with the Dragon Tattoo when it first came out. I honestly didn't know what to make of it. And I think that's because David Fincher is willing to challenge us as moviegoers to get us to think a bit beyond the surface level. So I'm going to rate Mank an 8 out of 10. I do plan on watching this movie again. There's no doubt about that. I will say it probably won't rank very high amongst other movies in his filmography, but as I rewatch this movie in the future, I know it's one I'll probably come to adore. And that brings us to the conclusion of my review for Mank. I'd like to thank you all for watching. You can see other reviews I've done on the FilmBook website. That's film-book.com. Just search for Alex Shrednoslak. You can see other videos and reviews I've done on my YouTube channel, link in the description. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so that way you're notified as soon as new reviews are published. If you agreed or disagree with my review, definitely leave me a comment down in the comments section below. Please also consider becoming a member on our Patreon, link also in the description. Your support helps us create more engaging content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.